Mr. Speaker, the Speaker, as the committee considers that issue, there is a general feeling in the country, Mr. Speaker, that there is a rise of extrajudicial killings. Mr. Speaker, either because of psychosocial support issues within the armed forces itself, especially the police. We have witnessed rising cases of police officers killing themselves, Mr. Speaker, but also killing civilians. But most importantly is the rise of cases of individuals being killed from one part of the country and dumped in another part of the country, like the case of where 4 gentlemen were abducted from Kitengela and found dead, Mr. Speaker, in Muranga. And Mr. Speaker, another businessman was again abducted, tortured, and now found dead, Mr. Speaker, somewhere in Kirinyaga. Mr. Speaker, this is not a very good trend. And I know we might be silent. I've seen the newspapers, the media, are aiding and abetting these acts by trying to offer an explanation. An explanation, Mr. Speaker, disguised as news, but if you look at it, it's sponsored explanations that try to show that the 4 people in Kitengela were con men, or they were murderers, or they were thugs, they were thieves, they were robbers. The other explanation being purportedly given is, Mr. Speaker, the gentleman who was found in Kirinyaga was involved in money laundering and matters of crime and so forth. Mr. Speaker, this is dangerous because newspapers and media houses were supposed to be more critical, and even as citizens and member of parliament, to be more critical when we hear cases and witness cases of extrajudicial killing. What's happening in the public space is that we are being socialized, Mr. Speaker, to the direction of normalizing extrajudicial killings. As long as explanation is given that looks like it is in the best interest of the country or is for public good. There is no, Mr. Speaker, any process that is not judicial is dangerous for, Mr. Speaker, not just the people who have been killed, but for ourselves. And, Mr. Speaker, as time goes, it will be in future, they will abduct a member of parliament and they say he was sponsoring terrorism, he was involved in money laundering, he was involved in sponsoring robbers. As a committee, this committee, and I'm sure it is a security committee, they must be, Mr. Speaker, more serious when interrogating these issues. And I hope we will have time to, again, Senator Cherargei, when he was the chair of the Legal Affairs Committee, brought a report here concerning extrajudicial killing. This issue is still there. I remember even contributing, Mr. Speaker, over 2 years ago, my personal assistant who worked in my office, Mr. Speaker, was abducted and murdered and found, Mr. Speaker, dead, dropped somewhere in Kabenguria. If this behavior continues, we are in danger. The same happened to Senator Pokisho's county, where 3 Pokot businessmen were murdered and dropped somewhere in Keyo South in Kaptagat Forest. So if we continue like this, Mr. Speaker, it's going to be dangerous. And I think we must, and I want to request our newspapers and media houses, stop normalizing and socializing the public to normalize extrajudicial killings. If someone is a criminal, there are judicial processes of ensuring that they are brought to book for accountability. But if we continue normalizing extrajudicial killing for as long as the explanation talks about suspect of robbery, of terrorism, or whatever other crimes, Mr. Speaker, however serious it is, a country that wants to build itself to be a country of rule of law must, Mr. Speaker, normalize the process of arresting criminals and taking them, or arresting suspects and taking them to court, Mr. Speaker, to be charged. I thank you.